If you want any answers, then you better be prepared to yourself. I never told anyone about this, but I have to kill it, even if it's for the sake of my heart. Please, don't end up the same mistake as I did, as I made a deal with someone. During that time, around the middle of 1980s, I was into video games, like Super Mario Brothers, but when I heard about the NES Godzilla game, I had to buy it, even though I was a Godzilla fan. I've always wanted to have a Godzilla video game, so I went to my local store and I bought a copy of the game, and I played it, and it seemed normal, and I played it a lot, all over again. It seems a lot of fun. I decided that was enough, and I decided to go to bed and rest my eyes. I had a horrible nightmare that night. I was surrounded in a cave, but it seems like there's a bunch of eyes looking right at me, and something leaking. It didn't feel like anything that's wet. It felt like it almost was like sap. And the eyes were looking right at me. And then the eyes were coming towards me. And then all of a sudden I can visibly see that there were people with dysfunctional heads. They don't even have human heads. They don't even look exactly like humans. They look a bit... The head had the eye, and the rest of the body was normal. They began clawing at my skin, tearing me apart, and I sooner fade away. But before I can fade, all I heard was loud, echoing, roaring in the cave. I woke up in a cold sweat. My heart was beating, and my stomach was churning. But whatever, that was just a nightmare. I decided to serve myself some waffles and then turn on the news. And when I read on the news, there was like some girl who got hit by a truck that night. Poor woman. I wish I couldn't have stepped in there and saved her from that truck. But I was getting a little bit bored, so I decided to play the game again. And when I landed on the next level, it looked a bit green. Kind of reminded me of that level called Jupiter. But some strange stuff has yet to come later. I started levels, I fought Mogira and Gazora again, even Varen, but the monster that I fought was strange. I was taken back surprised that I was actually fighting against Gorosaurus, the dinosaur kaiju. I mean, the only attacks he ever does is his obnoxious kangaroo kick, which got annoying as Godzilla. I tried kicking, but it was no use. Gorosaurus keeps kicking me back. Over in about like 10 minutes, I managed to beat up Gorosaurus and move on to the enemy base and destroy it. Next level was by far the most... I don't know how do you describe it. It was purplish, and the tiles showed buildings. And it was actually a city this time. Even though there was never meant to be any cities in the game, it was still pretty cool to see them. A bunch of cars, jets, and tanks coming all after you. It was lots of fun. until I beat up Gorosaurus again, but this time he never showed up to fight. Once I select him to fight, it took me straight right back to the board. But then, instead of the enemy base, I saw this. It resembled a red face. I tried pressing the button, and then in that memory that flooded me back, that roar, that horrible, evil roar that was in my dream, I fell to the floor, but I never did fell to the floor. I couldn't move. I was paralyzed from my seat. "You are not leaving," said the voice. I asked, "Who are you?" "I am the Red Demon," he said. Why? Tell me, why are you doing this to me? I have a secret to tell you. I killed Melissa. And I asked, "Who is Melissa?" "That girl that got crushed." And then it hit me. I totally forgotten about her. I couldn't forget that death at that news. "What do you want? Just let me go. I'll do anything for you." He said this to me. "I'll let you go if we have a deal. Send in the next person to play the game, and I will torment them. Type in the name of who you want to kill." I had no choice. I would die if I disobey his deal. And I accepted. I type in a name. One of my old friends that I haven't seen in a long time. My old pal, Zachary. I'm sorry, Zachary. I'm sorry. And it was done. Red was gone. He no longer paralyzed me. I was free. And now I had to do is the unthinkable. Search for the address for his neighborhood. I managed to track it down. I'm not gonna tell you the address because, for one good reason, I don't want people to make the same mistake. So instead, I decided to hit it in one place that Red may think I actually delivered to his door, and I placed it right in front of a apartment's door, and no one will ever notice. I never forget that one day. What will happen if somebody find that game cartridge? What if the same mistake happened to him? What if he gives it to him? After all, it was meant for Zachary. And I wrote a little envelope that's taped in the back of the game cartridge. "Please take this to Zachary." But hopefully, I'm best not to describe the person. After all, he was actually one of Zachary's friends. So, nothing will bad happen to him, right?